Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm up here at my kids' school, picking my babies up, and I'm going to the crib. Nigga gotta make we gonna do chicken parm for the night. Yeah, I got a mop, man. I don't know why the fuck this dog think he can just piss all over my house, and man, this little nigga be driving me up the wall. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, that's right, that's what that is. But this little nigga be driving me up the wall, so I gotta go home and mop that shit up, man. And yeah, y'all know how I go, man. But peep game, let's get into this shit, man. And I want to talk about Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov, man. That was a good fight. That was a good fight, Brody. But I want to say this, bro. I want to say this. Madrimov is nice, and he's on. And this was so dope about these Saudi cards, man, because Madrimov as of now is on consecutive losses. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because they understand this dude's worth in the division. They understand he's game to fight, and they understand that this dude he's one of them ones in the division. He's one of them ones. He's one of them ones. So we gonna bring him back. The dude. This is a skilled, quality opponent in the division. I don't give a fuck about his losses. I dig that. You know what I'm saying? I dig that. They talking about bringing Martin Bacoli back. We still got plans from this. What I'm talking about, man. Just redirecting the minds of the boxing public. At least here in America, it's not as big over there. Maybe I wouldn't know. Well, I don't feel like no. Clearly, it ain't that way because you got Derek Chisora still doing drag out numbers with 10 losses, double digit losses. So nah, they their vision, their view on fighting isn't as skewed as it is here in America, man. Being undefeated is a byproduct of the Mayweather era. We got to do away with that shit, man, because fighters are going to lose, and you can learn in a loss. So when you got a dude like Israel Madrimov coming off of a loss to Terrence Crawford, despite in a competitive bout, I dig that. It ain't like he went in there and got outlined in chalk. Nah, man, no, that ain't what happened. But the fight in itself, it was a dope fight, man. It was a dope fight. Israel Madrimov, like I'm not one like I don't bang on people who just use their lateral movement. I don't bang on people who do that because that's a skill set. You know what I'm saying? Keeping some, no, being able to keep somebody off balance. That's a skill set. That's a skill set. You dig? Like I shouldn't have to dull my, I shouldn't have to dull and dumb my skills down because you can't find a way to stay in front of me. You can't find a way for me to, to cut off my exit strategies. No, catch up, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Step your feet game up. All pun intended, nigga. So, but the thing is, when it comes to that, man, you have to make sure that you can maintain that throughout the duration of the fight. Like, and that was Canelo, Lara's downfall with Canelo when they fought, man. All the movement and everything eventually is gonna wear on you. When you got somebody that you're not able to keep at bay, you got somebody who's not in a position to counter you. They can't keep up. They can't stay on you enough to where they can counter whatever it is that you're trying to do. So they're in range to counter you. They're in range to pin you to the rope and do damage. You dig? It's hard to stay. It's hard to stay mobile and punch on the go when you got somebody who's just consistently keeping pressure on you. And Virgil Ortiz was doing that, man. Madrimov, he was keeping him off balance, putting them shots down the middle, right on his face and everything. And you saw it. You saw it. He's like, yo, man, he's kind of touching Ortiz, a lot more than usual. Then I won't say a lot more than usual, but a lot. And I was, to my knowledge, it looked like Ortiz was catching a lot of them shots until they went into the corner. I'm like, dag, man, that's filthy work. He's hitting this nigga with everything he's throwing primarily or practically, man. So the output, and I personally thought that Madrimov would have to step up his output in order to keep Virgil Ortiz honest or whatever, man. And he did it to a certain degree, but output with being fleet-footed, unless you are in peak conditioning like a Bivol, is gonna wear on you. And sure enough, it wore on him, man. And Virgil Ortiz just kept applying pressure, and every time he get him, he wouldn't pin him to the rope, but he'd straddle the rope enough to where he was able to tap the body. And Virgil Ortiz is a devilish body puncher, man, and that clearly had an effect on him in around about the mid rounds, where you clearly start to see Madrimov slowing down all his foot, all his angles and everything, all that feet, it just started dissipating. And once that happened, it was problematic from there on out. It was problematic from there on out, man. Madrimov was just like, yo, what the fuck is wrong? And I figured he thought he would have been able to maintain that pace because of how he performed against Crawford. But the thing is, with Crawford was the one that was using his lateral movement. Crawford was the one that was punching on the go. Madrimov was the one who had to go on the hunt to track his prey down. And he had success with that. He definitely had. I thought that fight was about a 7-5 type of affair with Bud. I understand why people feel like it should have been a draw, but I thought Bud won that fight. But I think because of that, he thought that it was different. That Virgil Ortiz wasn't going to be able to, eventually he'd grow frustrated because of how he looked in his last fight. And he looked vulnerable in his last fight. But the thing was, Bohachuk is, they're both meeting each other in the middle of the ring. They're both meeting each other in the middle of the ring. And even the thing, when you look at Virgil Ortiz, man, the dude got up off the canvas twice. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is 918? I don't know who that is. Is that my phone? But he got up off the canvas twice, and especially in that last knockdown where he was just like, "Yo, fuck this," and he just really stepped to Bohachuk and started doing damage, significant damage. Like, I don't give a fuck about nothing. Like, it was just like his nine tails fox just kicked in, man. He just got possessed, and he was just like, "Nah, nigga, I'm not losing this fight. And if I do lose this fight, I'm about to go in here and I'm about to just maul you to death. You gonna know that I was here." And that's what and he hurt Bohachuk later on in that fight as well. Hurt him bad. Like, you seen him, like, oh shit, Bohachuk is, he did a little dance. But I guess because he was, he looked so much, he looked pretty vulnerable in that fight. He thought he can go in there and do the dance, kind of match what it is that he did with, Bohachuk or whatever the case may be. Maybe he's not accustomed to fighting the top dogs at 154 pounds. And he proved that shit to be wrong, man. He proved that to be wrong. So, I want people to really stop looking at how Virgil Ortiz looked against, how he looked against Madrimov as opposed to how Crawford looked against Madrimov. Because they fought two totally different fights. Two completely different fights. You did, like, yo, stop it. And it's all just like Terrence, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. Like, y'all niggas are some bozos. But Madrimov kept him off balance for about the first 4 rounds. And after that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Combinations just started. This man, Virgil Ortiz's hands are really fast, dog. They're fast. He has good feet. You dig? Real fat, real twitchy upper body movement, man. You dig? Just the snap. He'll snap the jab and put that left hook in your liver, man. It's like real fast, twitchy shit, man. Like, god damn. And he started doing it. And it got to the point where you started seeing the frustration grow in Madrimov, and he started kind of like pushing off of him or whatever, and kind of like leading with his head. And the ref warned him, and I'm glad he didn't take a point. I'm glad he didn't take a point. I'm glad he warned him a multitude of times. But for the most part, he's like, nah, y'all finna fight. You know what I'm saying? This is what we here for. This is what we here for. And I don't think the tactics were super like dirty and grimy like that to where he would have deserved getting the point taken away from him. But he did tell him, man, stop pushing off with your shoulder. Or, just because, you can push off with your shoulder slightly. Stop leading with your head. When you go into the phone booth, there's going to be forehead to forehead contact. That's just a fact. It's going to be forehead to forehead contact. That's just a fact. That's how it go, man. So I thought it was, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm glad he addressed it, but I'm glad he didn't penalize him for it. I fucks with that. But Virgil Ortiz, the pace of it his pace was just too relentless, and his pace proved to be too much for Israel Madrimov. All that bronchitis bullshit. Come on, man. Stop. You just lost. Just admit you lost, and it's okay. You lost to a credible fighter. Bohachuk lost to that same fighter. I don't think Bohachuk should have lost, but in the win-loss column, he has a loss by Virgil Ortiz, and I'm not mad that they gave it to Virgil Ortiz. I'm honestly not, but I do think Bohachuk won that fight. But you lost, my nigga. You lost. Fuck all that bronchitis bullshit. You lost that fight. You lost that fight, my man. It is what it is. Y'all are gonna have this, the sweet, this sweet science shit, the sweet foot fighting shit. It's it's dope. It's cute. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know who you can and can't, get away with that shit with, man. You got to know that. You got to, all right, yo, this dude is going to bring that pressure. He's going to be front foot dominant in this fight. So I'm going to have to mix it up. I'm going to have to protect myself in the pocket to where I'm not losing my energy, getting up, protecting myself, getting to the sides of shot and getting up under shots. Tuck my elbows so he doesn't, put water in the basement and take my legs away from me before I can get back out in case I need to, go on the retreat again. Mix it up. Mix it up. All the staying on the outside and everything, all that shit is dope, man. If you could, and I was entertained by what it is that he was doing, but they was calling this dude, a Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin is not no fleet-footed fighter. That dude was destruction personified. Gennady Golovkin was a dude who was coming to off your head, not necessarily banging the phone booth, but at a range where he can get full extension on his jab, because that was his best weapon, was his jab. That was his best weapon, and he employed that shit beautifully. But it was still destruction. Like, he was still a very much so destructive fighter. And they was comparing him to him, man. Like, you can't make those comparisons with, fighting the way that you fight. You dig? Just learn how to do both. Learn how to do both. You dig? You could be a boxer puncher, man. I think, and he hits hard enough to where the dude, there's no reason why you shouldn't be finding a home in the phone booth. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to sit there, plant your feet, and bang out in the phone booth. There's no reason for that. With Joel Diaz in your corner, we saw how Tim Bradley fought Ruslan Provodnikov, man. That dude wasn't fleet-footed. That nigga said, hell nah, nigga, we right here. We right here. I don't see how you're not. I don't get how you just want to be a dude who want to stay on the outside and use your feet when it's not necessary. So yeah, man. All in all, that was a dope fight, man. I was entertained by that fight. I dug it. I thought it was a good fight. Hey, I'm looking forward to what they both do next. I would like to see. I think I don't know what they're gonna do with Virgil. I don't know what they're gonna do with Bud, because Bud is fighting in September at 168 pounds. So I don't know if they're gonna make him, vacate his belt. I know a few people have asked for that, but I don't know what they're gonna do. And I think he said he's next in line for the WBA or some shit like that. I don't know Virgil Ortiz, man, but all I do know is I don't want you sitting out for for the year. I think did he fight 3 times last year? He fought Delorme. I think sometime in the middle of the year he fought. I can't remember the first dude's name that he fought. Then he fought Sergey Bohachuk later on in the year. I think he fought 3 times last year. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, hold up. Yeah. No. I'm trying to think about how to do it, because when did Rolly win that belt off of when did he win that belt off of Barroso? I can't remember when, but I know he got that belt. He was elevated. He won that belt. Then he immediately lost it to Isaac Cruz. But what the parallel in that fight is because Tony Weeks made 2 bad stoppages. That was a bullshit stoppage with Barroso and Rolly, and then he had that bad stoppage with Virgil Ortiz and the black dude that he fought. I'm trying to think if that was last year or if it was late the year before, the year before that. But nonetheless, you don't need to wait, and you don't need to, you wasted enough time being out of the ring due to health issues or whatever, man. Just get right back into the drama. And with you having the Turk at your beck and call, bro, that is a beautiful thing. You do not need to wait a whole nother year, 6 months before you get back in the ring, man. 154 pounds is buzzing right now, man. That shit is on fire. Get back in there and line it up with somebody, with one of those opponents up there, man. It's deep as a motherfucker up there. I don't know if you want to roll the dice with Charles Conwell. Don't nobody seem to be wanting to run that shit with Bakram Murtazaliev. Everybody is just really eyeing Fundor, because I think Fundor may be the weakest link as far as the champions. Bud is going to be tied up into the, the third quarter of the year. So we don't know what we don't know, man. But I don't want to see both of these dudes sit there and just you know go idle, man. Who was some? I mean, why not get Bohachuk and Israel in the ring? You know what I'm saying? Why not get who's coming off a loss? Israel and Tim Zoo in the ring. Why not get or Bohachuk and Tim Zoo? Why not get uh uh you know I wouldn't put him in there with Ramos, man. Ramos is he's coming back down from 60. But who else you got in there? Lubin, you get I think he's finna fight on Pro Box. You got uh Brian Mendoza, what are you doing? It's a lot of fights that are there for the taking, man, to keep these dudes busy and to let them get back on their feet if it's a confidence boosting fight that they need off of these losses, man. So it's no reason for y'all to sit idle for no ample amount of time, man. Virgil Ortiz, I would like to see you get in there and run that with the likes of us, not Sergey Bogachu, but yo, man, really pursue that fight with Sebastian Fundora. Pursue that shit. Pursue that shit, man. And if you can't get Sebastian Fundora, man, hey, it's about time for y'all to it's sink or swim now. Y'all gonna have to go and someone got to go holler at Mertis Aliev. I think not Sebastian, but I think Virgil Ortiz is a dude who's willing to do that shit. Fuck it, let's go see what that shit hit for. Let's go see what that shit hit for, man. So make that happen, man. Do not go idle. Do not spend this year bullshitting, man. Go for the gusto. And that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Good win to but good win to Virgil Ortiz. Israel Madrimov, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. You lost. It is what it is. I still think it's a damn good scout for both Bud and Virgil. Vortex, I'm calling him Vortex. That dude was a beast. It's a damn good scout because I think you're a damn good fighter. So I don't want to see you, just like I just said about Joshua Buatsi in my last video, I don't want to see you go idle. That division is entirely too deep. It's jumping right now. And with you this is your second Riyadh card, man. You got the Turk right there, man. Make some shit happen. Make some shit happen, my man. Make some shit happen. Because I'm looking forward to seeing you fight again. Because I think you're a credible foe in the division. You just came up short in them two fights. It is what it is. Virgil Ortiz and Bud Crawford are damn good fighters. But you're a damn good fighter yourself. And you made it competitive with both of them. So let's not wait for no time. Let's not waste no time on your career, my man. Get right back to the smoke. There's plenty. Go holler at Bohachuk, go holler at Brian Mendoza, go holler at Tim Zoo. No, Bohachuk is off a win. So go holler at Tim Zoo, go holler at Brian Mendoza, man. But get to it, my guy. I'll get with y'all later, yo. Deuces.